Hey guys, Chris is Superfast RC, and today I'm giving you my full review of the Team Associated RC8T4E. This is a new truggy from Associated. It uses the new B4 platform as far as the chassis and battery layout, motor and ESD positioning. It has new front uprights, hubs with the kingpin inclination that's new and revised. Has new shock towers, new diff cases, new rear wing mount. Other than that, there are minor changes from the B3.2. But overall, the truck is pretty much all new. The only thing that carries over really is the rear hubs and the arms. Everything else is pretty much B4 T4. So first thing, let's talk about bodies on this truck. Team Associated does not include a body. I don't really care for that decision, but I guess I can understand it with the advent of the new bruggy bodies and the truck body conflict. You know, some people like the truck body, some people like the bruggy body. I've got both. I prefer running the truck body. I've just had the truck body on the T4. This is my body for this year, so I've been running truck body. I have also ran bruggy body. I have my XT8. It runs a bruggy body, and I know people say there's a huge difference. There's a little bit of a difference, but if you've got a good, nice fitting truggy body, it goes a long way to almost being as good as a bruggy body, in my opinion. And it also protects your front shock tower and stuff like that. So, hard to find a good truck body for this thing, really. This is the Pro line. I believe this is the, I'm not sure which one this is. If I remember, I'll let you know. But, the axis, that's the axis for the the T3.2. Only thing I will say, where you have to put these holes, it's kind of tight, and I had to trim back the body mounts. I'll show you in a minute to get it to fit, and then you also have to trim the rear of the body to get it to fit right. So keep that in mind if you're going to run a truck body on here. It's kind of designed for a bruggy body, but you can run a truck body. Just wanted to show you that. Rear wing, same as the T4, the B4, same rear wing. It has the option to run a little winglet here in the middle. I'm running a shell wing button. So go ahead and get the body off, and we'll go through what I have in my truck, I guess you'd say in this case. It's kind of tied up front, like I said, with the way I've had to mount it all. They include body clips, but not a body. Go figure. Alright, let's get the body off. I have Velcro on it. And there's the body. Get out of the way. Alright, so things that I've got different from stock, and basically the T4 in general. We've got a saddle pack style layout. Motor up front. This is a 22250 Hobby Wing 74mm motor. XR8 Pro ESC, Savox 2292, Black Edition servo, and we've got our Trick Shell carbon Kevlar battery straps. And if you'll notice, these are not the T4 trays; these are B4 trays. This truck does not come with these, so I've added these extra. It comes with the long trays. So I went ahead. I'm running shorty only. I've only had one occasion where I've hit LVC in this class with this truck, and that was my fault because I did a high amperage charge and I didn't let the batteries finish charging. So that was my fault. If I would have let it charge all the way at a slower rate and got all the capacity in there, I wouldn't have had an issue. But I still did get third in that race. I died on like the last lap, and I was able to still make it to the finish line. So not a total loss. But guys, if you're running shorty, make sure you have your batteries peaked completely. These are the Reedy 6400 SG590Cs LIHV packs. Great batteries. I run them in my B4 and my T4. Also in my 10 scale. I like having shorties because you can run them between classes. I've actually got 3 sets of those batteries, and I run them between my 10th scale and my A scale, so it kind of works out for me in that way. Like I said, these are the Shell battery straps. You can get them from shellracinginnovations.com, and they work great. So battery trays, like I said, these are buggy trays, but I did use the Truggy. The battery stops here that are included with the Truggy, they're about double height versus what comes with the buggy tray, so you get more support on the sides of your battery. It's almost like running the Shell aluminum battery stops, if you've seen those. It's the same thing, just made out of polymer, right? So, anything else I need to tell you about my electronic layout? Not really, it's pretty stock. Yeah, let's move on to the rear suspension. Rear suspension, it's all T3.2 arms. The new updated plastics on the turnbuckles here and the rod ends, they're that new gray. On the Truggy, on the associated with the T4, I highly recommend using the aluminum V2 hubs. I did have 2 instances where I did break rear hubs in the race just because on the bottom of the hub on the B4, I'm sorry, there's not a lot of material on the bottom of the hub and it just kind of cracks if you get a real hard side impact. So I would recommend out of the box just going ahead and getting the V2 factory team hubs and installing them from the get-go. Rear shock tower, shocks. Let's talk shocks, guys. So as you'll notice, these shock springs are shiny. Guys, these aren't associated springs. These are Techno springs. A lot of the pros are running, I think every pro I've seen is running the Techno shock springs on their T4 and T4E. From Spencer Rifkin, Ryan Cavallari is running a T4E right now. He's not on Associated's team, but he is running a T4E or a T4, if that tells you anything. One of our local fast guys, Rocco at our track, he's running Truggy Techno springs. So these are pink up front and green in the rear for your reference. Yeah, shock oil, I believe it's 40 or 42.5 up front, 37.5 in the rear. That's just my setup. Could be something different for you. Yeah. Gearing, let's see what I'm running for gearing here. This is a 15-tooth Mugen pinion. Guys, this thing has plenty of go. So 15-tooth, if you're running this 22-250 hobby wing motor, 0 issues with heat. And like I said, plenty of go and probably too much go, to be honest. I can't do the quad at our local track, so maybe not. I don't think anybody has done the quad though. But anyways, let's talk durability. Like I said, the only thing on this Truggy that you have to worry about is the rear hubs, the plastic rear hubs, and then your front lower arm. I had a front lower arm break on a pretty hard impact. These are the HD arms that comes with HDs out of the box. So I would recommend having a pair of HD arms in your pit box for this truck. Not saying that it's not durable. I'm just saying that's going to be the part you're probably going to break more often than not on a hard impact. It'd be front arms. Also, I've noted that a lot of people saying there is an upper hinge pin problem with this truck. It should be a millimeter longer. So keep that in mind. I believe AE is going to release an updated hinge pin for this to make it a little bit longer and give you a little bit more bite into this upper pill here. I have had one rip out, to be honest. I have. So anything other than that I need to tell you about the truck? I am running the factory team aluminum upper pivot balls and then the steel lower, just to kind of get rid of some of that unsprung weight. Of course, on the T4 you're going to get the B4 captured lower shock spring holders here. And then of course, like I said, I'm running Techno springs. Let's go ahead and take you down this side of the car. You get the wider hexes here than you'll see on buggy. So these are a lot wider. I'm not sure exactly how wide they are, but they are wider. Like I said, the XR8 Pro, pretty standard stuff there for Truggy. Using the Reedy grip bullets, super nice. Haven't really cleaned this thing that much. I don't really know what oils I'm running setup wise in the diffs, or else I'd tell you, but I'm not having any trouble with them, so I don't know if it's stock or what. Probably is stock. Anything else I need to tell you? Let's look at, obviously we've got the new B4 style rear brace with the B4 rear gearbox. You can Tune it for flex if you want. Truggy, I really want the most durability. And just to show you that this truck is not brand new, I have ran it and have a good amount of experience with it now. Look at that chassis. Definitely has got some wear and tear on it. Not too terribly much, but enough to know what the platform handles like and what you're going to get when you do buy an RC8T4E. So, what do I think about the RC8T4E right now? I think it's one of the better platforms out on the market. Is it the best platform? That's up to your opinion, guys. I think the two most durable and most competitive platforms right now is probably a toss-up. And if you talk about durability, it might be not a toss-up, but the Techno, you cannot deny the Techno is winning a lot of races. Ryan Mayfield's running the Techno right now. Guys at my local track run Techno Truggy, and they're always competitive, guys. The Techno is a nice truck platform. They've really got it nailed down. But also the B3 or the T4 right here, a lot of guys are also running this too. At the pro level, you see a lot of guys that do not run specifically for Associated. They run for another company, but they don't have a Truggy. The company they run for doesn't offer a Truggy. Guys, they're freelance and they're going out and getting the T4s. It's just a good handling platform. It's got a lot of rotation for a Truggy, which is important. When you get this wide and you have big tires, rotation in the corners is a big deal. I've ran C-Hub Truggy in the past, and I've always had a problem cornering with the rotation. It just does not want to turn. Now, with the pivot ball and the new Kingpin inclination on these new B4 style front hubs, this thing rotates really well for a Truggy. Now, it's not going to rotate like a buggy, and it's Truggy. It never will rotate that well. But compared to a C-Hub Truggy or something, older that you're used to, this thing is night and day, going to rotate a lot better. It's not aggressive. I wouldn't call it aggressive, but it's not tame either. You're definitely going to have to hang on to it. It's a very, very, very responsive car to input. So keep that in mind. So it is a good race platform. I probably wouldn't bash this truck. It's definitely durable, but I don't think it's Techno tank status. But I think it's very competitive. And like I said, I'm running it. I'm going to run it at RC Pro this year. Yeah, I really haven't had any other issues with it other than, like I said, the front arm and the hubs, which can be both fixed by this one. Well, at least the rear hubs can be fixed by getting the aluminum hubs. But also, they are coming out with that longer pin, like I said, for the front. And maybe that'll help with durability up front. Still, like I said, I haven't broken an upper arm. I've only broken a lower arm, so I don't know if that'll help or not. Anyways, one other thing I want to tell you about, if you want to go really hardcore in the setup, Spencer Rifkin is running the MIP bypass pistons in his shocks. So with the Techno springs, I do have those pistons. I haven't put them in yet. I think I might before I take this out next time. But yeah, other than that, this is a great Truggy. I don't have any complaints with it. And most of y'all know I run predominantly AE cars. I've got the Nitro Buggy, the E-Buggy, and the E-Truggy. And I like having it that way just because I can share so many parts between the platforms. And it would do anything brand. If I ran Techno, I would run the Truggy. I would run the Buggy. That way you just don't have to carry a whole lot of parts because they're shared. A lot of the platforms are shared. Every diff part on this truck is shared between the B3, the B4, and the T4 here. And yeah, it's just nice to be able to share parts like that. Obviously, big ticket items like the arms and stuff like that aren't shared. The shocks are definitely different. But like hubs, they're shared. Front hubs are shared. Battery trays are shared. So yeah, a lot of the components do swap in and out. It's super easy to do as well. So yeah, what do I think about the T4E, guys? I think it's a great platform. Is it the right platform for you? Guys, that's up to you to decide. What is your track support? What does your hobby shop carry? Do they carry Associated? Do they carry Techno? Do they carry Mugen? They're all great trucks. Now the Mugen's definitely going to be pricier than the Techno or the Associated. And the Associated and the Mugen are going to be very similar handling characteristics because they're both pivot ball style cars. The Associated just being more affordable to campaign, in my opinion. So if it were me and I had unlimited money, yeah, I would probably try the Mugen out just to see what it's like. But the Associated is definitely not a bad kit either. So I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up, guys. 100%. I've got some footage I'll cut in here and there of trucks running and doing certain things. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this review on the RC8T4E, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.